All right, I'm gonna share with you guys one of the big highlights in my personal opinion at Home Gym Con 2025. It was the Ironmaster booth was revealing the new Ironmaster Valhalla machine, which is their IM3000, basically the upgrade from their IM2000 machine. I'm gonna get into the, really to me, the most pertinent stuff that I thought coming from the horse's mouth. And this is just me really as a one-man show at this event. If you guys saw me, you know, I really wasn't coming with any kind of sophisticated equipment or anything like that. Tried to go in as honest as I could, really dialing into things that I thought were most important. And like I said in a previous video, really getting a chance to really talk to you guys. That was the ultimate winner of the show, in my opinion, with a couple machines that really stood out, this being for sure one of them. I will put timestamps down below, all the different content areas we got into with the owner, Matt, if you guys want to jump to certain sections. Shameless plug, got an Ironmaster link down below. You guys know I love Ironmaster, picked up many of their products. I actually got more stuff coming that I'll be sharing with you guys in the near future. And then at the end of the video, I will share with you guys my own personal thoughts and opinions as I got a chance to kind of mess around with this IM3000, AKA the Valhalla.
Yeah, well, this is the IM3000 Valhalla. It's like our latest all-in-one system. It's actually our biggest all-in-one system we've ever developed. The IM2000 has been our, flagship piece for a long time. It's a self-spotting, not truly a Smith machine, but it's like a Smith machine, and it has a cable system built in for upper and lower pulleys, right? But it doesn't have dedicated cable system. It's just, yet you can connect it in a really innovative, compact way, right? You have to hook up a cable to the lifting bar and do that sort of thing with the 2000. This one here, we wanted to add another machine to the product line and make it a lot, more multifunctional and have like weight stacks built into it. So you have fixed cable systems. You got functional pulleys out front. You've got a low row station set up down there and a lat pull down upper pulley station up there. Some of the things that's different about our cable system, sort of like functional pulley system, is that I really wanted to have the spacing of the front rails further apart, so you have more of a true cable crossover type feeling. Most other racks, they fix it in a 42-inch wide uprights, and some of them have like a little swing out pulleys like that, but there's a lot more cable movement going around there, and you feel like some drag from that. This one here is just what feels the best, so we just moved the uprights out that way, but they're not actually any wider than the bar that sticks out, the Smith bar, or an Olympic bar actually sticks out over here. So the footprint is still actually within the usable area that you need to have anyway. And these are really easy to adjust up and down with just no special crazy handles on them. They're not super heavy, but yet they're strong. This is a 2-to-1 ratio, like everybody needs on a functional pulley like that, so you got lots of range. The weight stack starts at 10 pounds, so you really only have like 5 pounds starting weight, which is pretty nice. But because people that want to do heavy training on a cable system that has like weight stacks on them, sometimes you can only use one or the other, and you only got like 100 pounds of resistance, if you have a 200-pound stack. So to be able to do like serious rows and lats, you got to have more weight. And so we developed a new innovative way that nobody's done before to be able to pull both stacks at the same time, which is 200, 200. So you actually have 400 pounds of resistance that come off of this pulley or that pulley station. And so we have them connected in a special orientation and cable balancing format so that you can do that together. So you can have like a super smooth, easy to hook up. Just one normal handle hooks on there. You don't have to have a handle with 2 different kind of connectors on it. But one other cool thing about this that I really, really wanted to have in this design is when you do like seated rows, I wanted to be able to sit on the bench off of the ground, so it's a lot more comfortable to sit in that position. And you can put your bench in here. You can angle the bench a little bit if you want to. So you have like a lot of really cool options. And those foot pedals there are big and really stable. And I really like the setup, the ergonomics of it. So, we've got bar storage in there and a landmine, things like that we've always had available. But all that's come standard with this machine. The lifting bar, Smith bar, is the heart of this machine, and it's the same as on our 2000. It works so well. It's super smooth. There's no bearings, just special bushings and a special coating on these slide rails. It's clean to the touch, but yet it's like so smooth and bind free. the lockout points are very close together, like 1.7 inches apart. So, even if you get the bar down on your chest, you can flex up a little bit and get it into the next hole and shimmy out. It's having close lockout points, I think, is really, really important on a self-spotting barbell system like this. And ours is like about as close as they can possibly be. So so this has been a proven system for like 40 years almost. This is just the latest version of it. And but we added numbers to it now too. Putting numbers on the slide rails, which act as like guide bushings. In most methods, the numbers would wear off or rub off, and they weren't suitable. We did all kinds of R&D to make sure that we could put numbers on there that would hold up. So the numbers are laser etched down to the steel, and then we put another clear coating on there, and it really makes like a smooth surface that gives you like all the performance you need, but good visibility too. So, and if you hook up like our J-cups or our barbell hooks, like you want to do like Olympic bar training, you just put them right on here. And of course you can see that you make them the same level on both sides with having numbers on it. And then you just put this pin on there. So this actually works as a great half rack system. There's room in here, plenty of room for doing Olympic bar training within this space. And you don't have to go way out. You can walk up and walk forward and do your squats. We got these spotting arms that hook on there too, so you can do like barbell, spotting. You could just.
How about can you touch on just kind of the quality, just people think about?
Well, yeah, the quality that we use here, like, you make your stuff in Asia, you can really get good quality if you have like really strict standards and make sure that the right steel is used. So like we've actually upgraded the tubing here to a little thicker wall versus the IM3000. So this is like a little bit more, serious duty. And so you're never gonna have like any flexing, you're never gonna have any deformation on these little holes here. And we wanted it to just feel premium, so we give it a little bit more sturdiness. It doesn't have as much flex. So we did that. The bar that goes through there, we use a special alloy spec of steel on there, so it's stronger. We checked all the, we're testing the, hardness, the Rockwell hardness, and confirming all those things. All that costs a little bit extra, but it's, in my opinion, it's critical that we have something that somebody's going to buy and they're going to use it. They're going to use it for 30 years. They're going to hand it down to their kids, and it's going to keep working, right?
What's the warranty on
this? This has I think it's a 10-year warranty. Okay. Like all of our products have 10 years, except for like our adjustable dumbbells have a lifetime warranty, but everything else is 10, for everything. So the
coating right here.
This is it's a special plastic that we make an extrusion that goes over on all of our Olympic sleeves. So this can come off actually, and it'll be a 1-inch solid bar there. Oh, okay. And so you can put standard plates on there. You can even put our adjustable dumbbell plates on there that have a 1-inch hole if you wanted to. But I really like this, even though it's plastic, I like this material. It holds up really well. When you put weight plates on there, no matter what kind of plates you have, it slides on and off really nicely, and it doesn't get scratched and end up rusting like steel would, even with chrome over time that wears off, But this doesn't happen, and these basically last forever. We've been making them. Having the grips, on there. Having more than 2 grips, I think, is unnecessary. You only got 2 hands, so it's the right, perfect, ergonomics for it. And we use a stainless steel formed-in ring in the middle, and it's hydraulically formed in there, so they stay forever. And the rubber that we use is a nice, virgin rubber, so it's like a little less odor. It's just a more premium rubber. It's not urethane, which is a little bit more durable, but twice as expensive, And for home gym, I don't think that's really necessary, to go with a full commercial plate. But these are good. We sell these in commercial applications too. We have a few gyms that have like thousands of pounds of our plates in their gym. Even though we kind of design them for the home gym use, they're good enough for commercial use too. Yeah. The deal is I wanted our team, we thought coming up with something besides just a number. IM3000 is what it's officially going to be, right? Yeah. But I was like, I wanted to have like something interesting like our bench. We don't just call it the 1001 bench. We decided to call it a super bench, and we have for a long time. And I think it's more memorable. Yeah. And so wanted to come up with a name that connotates something that's like, this is something that is kind of your dream, and like Valhalla is kind of like the afterlife, the dream, the heaven, if you will, of like a reward if you had a dedicated life and you fought hard and you did everything you needed to do, you'd go to Valhalla, right? So I'm like, well, let's do that. If you actually train, you're going to improve your life, you're going to have a better life, and this is like being able to go to your own personal Valhalla while you train at home. So yeah, well, the all-in-one trainers, I mean, that's what this is too, right? Yeah. But none of them have our our lifting bar system that I was showing earlier, right? It's incredible how smooth it is. The barbell weighs like 36 pounds, so it's not super over heavy, right? So some of them have to have like a counterbalancing system in them. Some of the ones that have like a big carriage that clamps on over a 3-inch upright, all that stuff works, but the bar is like 50 pounds, 60 pounds just to start, So the starting weight is overkill, and this is just as strong and smoother, quieter, easier to maintain. It's a proven thing that we've been doing for like more than 40 years. And I think that has a lot of benefit and a lot of value that it's not like a, just a brand new idea that hasn't been proven yet. I mean, this, we really, really can feel confident that you're gonna love it from day one. The way that how close together the lockout points are, how easy it is to just do like a quick move with your wrist to lock it out. You lift up like this and put your wrist in a normal, good strong position. And when you lock, you go like that. Whereas a lot of them, you have to go the reverse to lock it out. You have to go like that and do it's kind of an awkward position. So this thing's just like, it just feels natural. The other thing is, I really think that, people are going to appreciate the fact that the cable system is super easy to use. It doesn't require like any complicated setups. You don't have to connect 2 different kind of hooks onto one handle. It's just one to one everywhere as far as your cables go. It's really got the pull-up attachment. They didn't talk about that yet, but that's unique too, and it's adjustable. We have a model of this on our IM3000, but this is the same idea, but we adapted it to this machine here. And so these handles can be adjusted in and out. They're all just knurled handles and chromed, and there's 4 different kind of handles, and you can put them infinitely in different widths that you want. So, yeah. And there's really nothing else like it on the market, and you just use a little knurled knob up there to like loosen a little bit. Then you can slide this handle in and out or take it off and flip it around and reorient it however you want, for neutral grips, for standards grips, for you can put 2 handles together in the middle like close together, and you can do like a close grip chin up in a couple different ways, so it's really neat. Right, if you want to lift up the bar here, what you do is you start with your wrist straight, okay? Instead of going like this to start, you start like this. You push up a little bit and then rotate your wrist into your normal resting cradle position, and then see how the hooks are open just a little bit, just like that far away. So you don't have to some people will lift it up when they first try it and they'll go like this. Then you're like, when you want to stop and you're all tired, you're like, oh no, how do I do this? You don't have to do anything that hard. You just go like that a little bit. Just do like about a 10-degree rotation on your wrist, and then lock it like that. You just kind of like turn it down and let the bar just drop into the next holes, and it's like, you don't have to think about it. It feels natural. No, they're bushing. Bushing, oh, okay. Yeah, they're a special high density polyethylene material that we custom extrude. It's something we've been doing for a long, long time. We use it on this, we use it on our cable systems as well. We've been using it on all of our machines for decades, and it's still unique to what we do. No one else makes anything this simple and this smooth.
So when is the release date for this? When people pick this up?
Well, we don't have an exact date yet, but it will be like early fall is what we're shooting for. We have these things just started in production. We're finishing some of the tooling to be able to make these things in mass production. So we just finally signed off on the packaging. There's all kinds of little details that need to be done, but our factory is starting. We've already started to build this stuff. We got all the materials ordered. So, the first run, it's hard to predict. I know that a lot of companies have said, hey, we're going to have this thing. You can pre-order it now. We'll make it available on August 1st. And then they're like, well, it's July 29th and it's not going to happen, So I can't say exact, but we're probably, I feel pretty confident it's going to be available this fall. And And so just a few more months.
How much is this going for?
The price point is still a little bit up in the air because of like import costs are kind of variable, but you know, our target price is going to be like, you know, about $4,000 or so.
Now, what are my initial thoughts about this IM3000 or the Vahhalla machine from Ironmaster? This, like many other machines, and I will preface again that this was one of the main things I really wanted to look for and play around with at Home Gym Con. There was just so much stuff. A lot of it, not saying, well, maybe a lot of it, honestly, was not things I was particularly interested in. Very cool to see, but a lot of stuff I really just kind of walked by because it had zero interest to me. And if you guys are interested in other stuff, of course, that's where other channels come in. This was one in particular I really wanted to spend a lot of time with, so I did get a chance to do that. With that being said, this, among some other things I'll be featuring in the future, I feel like it's really hard to do it justice unless you're kind of having a lot of time with it. Like I'm talking like a few weeks to really play around with it to see how it overall feels. But here are some of my first impressions getting a chance to be on the IM3000. First thing I will say, and this I've said with Ironmaster in the past, and you guys have written into me in the comment section, you get saying I gotta try the IM2000. And to be honest, and I asked this question a lot to Matt, the owner, and even Brian, to me, when I looked at like the IM2000, it really just seemed like a Smith machine. I didn't really particularly get what all the hype was around it. Just like many other Ironmaster products, people love it. They stand by its quality and its longevity and all that stuff. But again, I'm like, I don't know if I would really use this. I do like Smith machines from time to time, but it's not something I'm really 100% into. I think the biggest thing with this is it's one, of course, the safety. It is more or less a Smith machine. The various intricate settings and where you can kind of rack and unrack it. And then of course you can utilize the bar as a kind of a weight source. This one being much different, that it is more so an all-in-one type of machine, an all-in-one trainer. Has much more of a wider wingspan. He did stress that to me it looks kind of big, so I was thinking in my head, if you guys watch the channel, I'm thinking about turning my basement gym almost into a little Ironmaster gym. I don't know if I'm really gonna dedicate that or not, but I actually was going through my head if I could really fit this Valhalla in my basement. So maybe I may try that for a future review video because I know you guys want to see this. But what I kept going through my head is if I was the consumer, would I really get this or an all-in-one trainer? We got into that here with the interview with Matt, and I think he did address that pretty well. I think if you are in the Ironmaster ecosystem and this is something you're looking for that is more or less a really kind of a safety all-in-one Smith machine, it does things, what it does very well. There's no question this thing felt very, very smooth. That was one of the things that stood out to me when I was doing the cable flies, did some seated rows. The bar, the way it went up and down on the rails did feel really smooth like Matt addressed. At the end of the day though, this is something it's hard for, if it was me personally, if I was recommending it, I think the ultimate question, or I'd say the ultimate factor, deciding factor between this is if you're gonna start using off-brand things or attachments and that's anyway a subtle interest to you, then I think you're gonna be more so looking at an all-in-one trainer that has more options to incorporate other things. This being the way it is, you might be a little more limited into what you can do, but what it does very well. I'm sure it will last you guys a lifetime, and the way it is designed is somewhat unique, so it's kind of unassuming when you first kind of look at it. So what I took away from leaving this booth, and I said this to the owners too, I think they have so much brand recognition. They have a lot of respect in the industry, and I think what they're doing is they're not trying to jump the shark too far or do anything too outrageous. Yes, they want to innovate, but they're trying to stay true to their brand and what people like. So they just took the IM2000, upgraded a few notches, and they're giving you guys what you want if you guys are an Ironmaster fan. So I do not think you guys will be disappointed. The overall question is, are you going to sway some newcomers who are more so interested maybe in a functional trainer, all-in-one type thing versus something like this? That I think is going to be up for debate. But at the end of the day though, like I said, it's something that I'm going to have to get my hands on a little bit more to be totally sold on something like this versus an all-in-one trainer again with a Smith machine integration. That is my thoughts though, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this machine. Very interested in that. If you guys want to see a review on this or anything else from Ironmaster, let me know down below in the description box. Also as well, I got a lot of content, a lot of footage. If you guys want to get into certain videos or certain topics from this conference, let me know. Still deciding how much or how little to reveal from this conference. I got a lot or a little, it just depends if you guys want to hear it to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.